Hi, this is Bob. I made two amazing discoveries in Korea last year which changed my life and I fell in love with. The second one is a bidet. Now, bidet is French for ass cleaner. It does a fantastic job of cleaning one's butt. No more messing around with wet wipes or taking a shower or using roll of toilet paper trying to get a cheesy burrito off your ass. Just a nice cool stream of water right between your crack, and it just gets everything wiped away real nice and real refreshing. Even in the winter, that little cool stream doesn't feel cold, feels fine. Now, they make fancier bidets which have a heater, heated water, or blow dryer, but I just stuck with something simple. It's about 50 bucks on Amazon, and it's really easy to install. You just need a screwdriver and a pair of pliers or adjustable wrench, one of those two. You don't need to mess around with electricity for the heater or blow dryer. It just goes in real easy. So, the first thing you want to do before you get started is you want to clean your toilet. You don't want to be putting your hands on other people's stuff. You don't want it's a piece of hair or fecal matter or anything showing up between your fingernails. So, clean the toilet and then lay out your tools and get started. Let's get started. Alright, this is the bidet itself. It's going to go on under the toilet seat. You can see it has these adjustable slots to stick the toilet seat bolts through. So the toilet seat's going to go on top of this, and this is going to be the control for how much water you want to spray. This is the valve that's going to go on the wall up to the toilet, which will allow the water to come into it. This is the regular supply line to the toilet, and this hose is what's going to go from the valve diverter to the bidet. Now, don't forget, you got instructions. Just don't take my word for it. I want to read through these as well. Make sure you have things in the right order, and that you don't leave any parts out. And the first thing you do here is take the toilet seat off. I've already started loosening the screws. They should come off pretty easily. You just want to save these bolts, put them aside. What I do is before I put them back in, I'll clean them off, because there's some parts you just can't get to when you're cleaning them when they're assembled. And that way you just don't have to handle that gross, whatever matter is collecting from somebody. So unscrew these and get the toilet seat off. Once the toilet seat's removed, you can see you still have quite a mess there to clean up. So we're going to wipe that off. And you can see there's a lot of debris on the bolts as well. A couple things to mention about the bolts. If you break one of these when they're coming out, like you rip up the slot, or you have to cut this off because it's locked in, they sell these at the hardware store rather cheaply. Also make sure you get the right length. You want to be able to go through your toilet seat, through the toilet, and also through the bidet. So that might be a problem for you too. If your screw is too short, you want to go to the hardware store and ask for a long screw. Okay, right next to the toilet is the shutoff valve. Now we're going to turn this handle off to shut off the water. So water is coming through this pipe up here into the toilet tank reservoir. So we're going to shut this off, and we're going to replace this. So if we have some water run out, we'll get a bucket for that. The first thing you do is you make sure that valve is off, or you'll have a real mess. Okay. Once you've turned that valve off, you flush the toilet. And what it does is it empties this tank, all the water in here, down to the toilet and out the drain. So what happens is when we take this bolt off and the water comes out, it's just going to be a couple liters. It's not going to be several falling out on the floor. And we'll put a bucket underneath. The next thing we're going to do is remove this nut holding this line in. Now I've put a plastic bucket down there which is going to catch the water that's coming out of here. So I just need to get that loosened with my wrench. Got that loosened. I think I can do it in my fingers now. So let's see what happens when we loosen that. Okay, we slide that down. We don't see any water yet. It's going to happen when we take this out. I'll tell you what, let's unscrew that down there too. There's another nut here. Let's get that one off. And that should allow us to get that pipe out a little easier than the water. Well, let's see, we can take this nut off now. Looks like that's coming off pretty easily too once I loosened it. Little struggles, but then we're taking that nut off. Now we get this pipe in here we need to take out. So we can lift that down, and this should come right out of there now. There we are. That's a lot. Well, not much drain. We much got it all out with the toilet. So now it's time to install the new valve on there. Some kits that you buy the bidet with will put a little bit of Teflon tape in the pack. Now this is my own. They didn't pack me with mine. But Teflon tape, you use it to wrap around the threads of a pipe before you put the joint together. And it just acts as a sealant. So sometimes they say you don't need it, but I just tend to like to use it. So we're going to wrap a little bit of this around the threads, that pipe coming in, before we put the fitting on. Now we got the sealant on. We're going to go ahead and put this valve on that piece up there. So just need to get it started, and it screws on, stays. So we're just going to keep screwing this until it's tight. And you can't really turn it much anymore. There, that's it right there. Next thing we're going to do is take the connection hose and hook it to the incoming valve and up into the toilet seat, or the toilet valve. Now when I connect these, I make them finger tight. Then I'll go back with a wrench and tighten down the rest of the way. Before the bidet is attached, I wanted to show you how it actually cleans. This is the valve that will actually spray water on you. When the water pressure comes into the bidet, this pops down and you can see there's 5 little holes. That's actually what gives you the butt cleaning action. And then it retracts in when the water is off. Pops out, retracts in. So everything will stay clean. Okay, I took the hose, the connection hose that goes to the bidet, hooked it into the diverter valve using the attached compressant fitting. Did the same thing with the bidet. Now before I attach it, what I like to do is test for leaks. So I'm going to turn the water on and make sure that the system doesn't leak before I attach everything. Okay, we got that thing on full. Filling the toilet, so it's not going to have full strength, but at least you do not see it leaking. So what we can do now is test the bidet. I'm going to turn it down, and we can see it is spraying up good. So that's what we're looking for. I dried off the lens. So now what we're going to do is get these holes aligned. Those are adjustable, and we'll get it bolted. That's usually the hardest part. It's just finding the right alignment with that in the toilet seat. So we'll do that next. Now this has adjustable, I guess you'd call these plates, to allow you to get a good alignment on the hole. So not only do you have to give it alignment left to right with these, you have to do a forward backwards. So this might have to change later because where it gets locked down determines where you get squirted. So if you're not getting squirted right, you might need to move it up or back. So I'll tell you what, we're just going to set it in the middle for now. That's where we're going to set our toilet seat and toilet seat bolts. And that's not good, we can adjust it later. What I've done is I've gone ahead and put the toilet seat bolts through the center holes of each connector, and we're going to align those with the middle connector of each bidet piece. And that kind of gives us a loose fitting in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath and tighten the nuts up underneath and tighten that down, and we'll give it a test. Okay, the bidet is completely installed now. We have the toilet seat nuts tightened down now. We've checked to make sure we have no leaks underneath, and we've given it, with our control, we've given that a final test. You can see it come squirting out. So everything looks good here. That's the end of our toilet seat bidet installation. I really hope you enjoy your bidet as much as I've enjoyed mine. And it's a pretty easy task you can do in your Sunday afternoon. You know, with just a minimal amount of tools, and it'll give you years of happiness. So I think I'm going to enjoy mine now. Can't wait to use it.